All right, Fit Farm fam, it has been a hot minute since I've done a dose of real talk. And with the new year, with everyone saying their strategy's best and they've got the magic formula, I'm here to tell you that having the right plan is only 20% of your success formula. Let's dive in.
I see my victory so clear. I see my victory so clear. And today, we break through. And today, we break through. And today, we break through. And today.
So guys, if you're watching this on the YouTube channel, make sure you hit like and subscribe to the channel for more doses like this coming your way. If you're listening to the audio version, I dispense a new episode on the Fit Pharmacist Healthcare Podcast every single week, so make sure you're subscribed on your favorite podcast platform. We're on iTunes, SoundCloud, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, you name it, we're there because that's where we get square on what is real. And today, guys, it is just about, we're almost 2 weeks in to 2021. This is being filmed January 10th, checking on my watch. But I want to tell you something. A lot of us have been looking for the right strategy. A lot of us have been looking for the right plan, and it's excellent to get a plan. It's excellent to set goals. I highly recommend doing that on a more than annual basis. However, I have met a lot of people, specifically pharmacy students and pharmacists, and specifically having to do with growing your personal brand with this scenario. Adam, I need to find the best plan. And after having some conversation, I find that they have not done this is the first rodeo. Like they have been down this road before, because I ask, what have you done before? What have you tried? And they list plan after plan after plan after plan, which is awesome that they're trying. Something didn't work out. They pivoted and kept going and trying to find a new solution. But here's the issue. When I asked about what those plans were, they were focused only on the strategy. And strategy is important, but it's only 20% of your success equation. Most programs out there that I have heard of and found, regardless if it's personal brand or learning to read more or learning to study more efficiently, whatever it is, they're missing 80% of the formula. And that 80% is your psychology. Get this, guys. If you have a plan, but you don't believe it'll work, or you start working the plan and you start to go off track or veer off course, and you start to say things to yourself like, oh, see, I'll never get this done. Oh, here I go again, falling into my old habits. Oh, how do I expect to go from where I am to where I want to go? There's so much work to be done. It's never going to happen. Oh, am I kidding? And then you go back to square one. And especially if we're talking about nutrition, that can actually lead to weight gain. And that's a whole other topic. But regardless of what your goal is, getting stronger, losing weight, building your personal brand, crushing pharmacy school, if you don't focus on your psychology, you're missing 80% of the equation. You have to know first why this goal is important. If you're just setting goals to set goals, in the beginning you might be juiced like, woohoo, I set a goal, let's get excited about this, get the party started. But once you start meeting resistance from, I don't know, life, from the other responsibilities, from the other things that are more of a priority in that moment, that divert your focus and attention away from your new goal, guess what happens? Almost every time. And actually every time, if you don't have this in check, you check out on that goal and you go back to your old habits because it's what you're comfortable with. It's psychologically what you are wired as a human being to do. The path of least resistance. That is wired back on your habits. And it's difficult, as y'all probably know, to form new habits, which is one reason I did such a deep dive into a podcast episode on how to form habits in a structured way that actually works. And they don't just come and go, they stick long term. So I'll link that in the show notes below so that you can get those tips as well. But guys, the big driving point that I want to tell you is that if you have a plan, that is awesome and I'm rooting for you. But if you want that plan to work and stick long term, which is my focus as a coach, I don't want you to be a flash in the pan. I want you to create a legacy, not just success and momentum now, but have so much momentum that it rolls and carries and snowballs to a point where it seems like it's automatic because you've been putting in so much consistent work. And there's a reason that my clients are thriving. There's a reason that all the people I work with have this sort of result. It's because I focus on the psychology. The first thing I look at is, why are you doing what you're doing? Why is this goal important to you? And back when I was a nutrition consultant, I launched that business back in 2014. Phenomenal time. I realized very quickly through my own journey that when I tried to do a physical goal, as I'm a drug-free, lifetime drug-free competitive bodybuilder, I've done 4 shows, I learned very quickly in that career that the fitness thing, the working out hard, the dieting, the show prep, all that, it's majority your psychology. It ain't about how much weight you lift. It ain't about how clean you eat or whatever you want to call that crap. It's about your psychology. It's about winning the mental game. And if you can master that, any plan that you set, if you're trying to get a new plan, whether it is up your pharmacy school game, or maybe you're a pharmacist and you're trying to dive your career and explode that, whether it's your pharmacy professional looking to build or start your personal brand, if you do not have your psychology on lock, you will become your own worst enemy. Y'all know what I'm talking about.
I see my victory so clear.
Without a doubt, the number one source of stress and anxiety when it comes to building your personal brand has to do with content. And I'm talking about all the things. When to post, how to post, what platforms are gonna be best for your content, your hard work to take off. What is your audience looking for? Where are they hanging out? What sort of strategy do you need in order to take your passion and turn that into purpose, helping other people achieve their goals? If you're feeling overwhelmed, stressed out, and like there's so much to do and know that it's not even worth the anxiety, stop. Because this was me years ago, and I have helped so many people across the world build their personal brand using the clarity and confidence from what I have developed and sharing with you now. This is your 2021 personal brand content calendar. I've spent the last several months creating this for you, and guess what? It's totally free. It's a resource to help you get your wheels in alignment so that you can take all of your passion and skills and get centered on your focus to building your brand. If you want a copy, go to thefitpharmacist.com/content calendar to get yours today. This is the resource you've been looking for to allow you to dispense your full potential. End the confusion on content and get started to script your brand. We're talking about the 12 limiting beliefs that we have that are wired into us as human beings. These are the 12 thinking areas. And this was actually the most popular YouTube video that I made in 2020. So I will link that in the show notes too, because this is a deep dive addressing the 12 thinking errors, why they happen, and what your antidote is to overcome them. Because guys, how often do we get in our own way? How often do we know what the best plan is and we feel like, I know what to do, I just don't do it? You're not broken. There's nothing wrong with you. It's just having the awareness of these limiting belief loops, and when they come up, being able to note them and how to handle them. Not to ignore them, not to suppress them, not to say one thing or the other, but to address them head on so that you can pivot and stay focused on your goal. Here is the real talk when it comes to not setting, but implementing and following through with your goals. And guys, I don't care what strategy or plan you have or what your end goal is. If psychology is not the foundational part of that, it will not last long term. And you might have realized this on your own. You might have been so emotionally invested in a program. You believed in it so much, it might not have even had any psychology in it. But you were so committed to the outcome. You were all in mentally that this was a do or die, a must for you. So because you psychologically committed yourself on a deep-rooted level tied to your why, guess what? you followed through. It wasn't just a flash of motivation. And by the way, motivation is like a shower. You've got to do that every day. It ain't like you just take a shower once and you're good for the week. No, baby. You got to do it on the daily, maybe twice a day. I mean, some of us busy people, it is 2 or 3 times a week, but still, you get my point. You have to do it consistently. It's not about getting motivated. It's about shifting that to commitment, which is totally different. And my challenge for you, my urgency call, my dose of reality is to ensure that whatever you are going after, because if you set a goal, it's clearly important to you, and I want you to succeed. We all have different goals, and we all have different definitions of what winning or achieving that goal looks like, because we all have different viewpoints. We all have different starting points. We have different upbringings. We have different challenges. And unless that can be addressed on an individual level without judgment, with coaching and mentorship, and recognizing that your psychology is the driving force of how the plan will work once you work the plan, that is what determines your success. And I see a lot of people with great intentions looking for the best plan, but if your psychology is not on the table, neither will your results. So I urge you guys, take this seriously. And if you have not checked out the YouTube video that I mentioned or the podcast, seriously, it was the biggest YouTube video I made last year. So I'll link that. It was super helpful. I got so many messages from pharmacy students, mostly actually, who are struggling with self-worth, believing in themselves, comparison to other people, all or nothing thinking, being the biggest. A lot of people said that they've always been the biggest barrier to their own success, or they were afraid of success, or they didn't feel like they were worth it. And they messaged me saying they never realized why until they watched that. So it really had impact on a lot of lives, which I'm super grateful for. That's why I made it. But it had a much greater impact than I thought. So I wanted to make sure that if you find yourself getting stuck on your path to results, if you find yourself being the biggest barrier to your own success, you're not broken. There's nothing wrong with you. It's just these mental loops that come up and get like potholes on your road to success. So I wanted to let you guys know that while a plan is important, you need to make sure that your psychology is a priority in order to make that plan work. I hope you guys found this message helpful. Again, I wanted to jump in. It's been a hot minute since I've done a dose of reality, so I wanted to let you guys know what is up before the old habits start surfacing, because I know a lot of us have set New Year's goals. We're 10 days into 2021. This is right around that time when those old habits and limiting beliefs start to creep in and start gnawing away at our progress on our goals. So I wanted to time this right for y'all to hopefully help you on that path. If you found this helpful, please leave a rating and review on Apple, on iTunes. That really helps grow this community. And that's it. If you can do that, that would seriously help so much, guys, for real. And if you would like to see, if you're listening to this audio version, if you'd like to see the hand waving and facial expressions and all the other bonus features, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel, The Fit Pharmacist. New videos on there as well with extra fun content and, of course, funny faces. So be sure to subscribe on there too, guys. I hope that you guys had an awesome start to your year and you're focusing and asking the right questions to set you up for the success that you desire and deserve. God bless, go forth, be great, and dispense your full potential.
I see my victory so